Welcome to this course on Apache Web Server. It is an important skill for any web developer and also for modern network engineers, since most network engineers, except the ones who are purely working on the backbone and deal primarily with routing, BGP, MPLS, all those things, are required to support web or HTTP traffic, which pretty much takes up majority of the network traffic in any environment today. The Apache Web Server is one of the oldest HTTP servers out there on the market. It is free to use in a commercial production environment and is a highly stable and feature-rich web server. It continues to enjoy a large market share and is used by several top websites. With that said, let's check out what this course is all about. This course is a one-stop shop to learn Apache from scratch to expert level. The end goal after completing this course is that you will be able to deploy static or dynamic production-grade websites or web applications on Apache and tune it for a large variety of requirements. You will know how to manage security of the server and how to diagnose and address performance issues. Here is a breakdown of the things we will cover in this course to get you to that point. The course starts off by explaining how to install and manage the operations of the service on an Ubuntu Linux server. It then goes on to explain how the web server works behind the scenes to process and respond to HTTP requests and all the important settings that are required to run a basic website. The course is 100% hands-on. Every topic is backed by labs showing how to configure each feature and verify the results. But the course is not just about configuration. There are plenty of other tutorials which show how to configure. This course will also provide you with a lot of context and reasoning behind every configuration directive. This will help immensely to troubleshoot issues because you will have a good idea of what each configuration line does, and when a certain issue is presented, you will be able to quickly get an idea of what module or configuration line in your server might be involved. The course then goes into more advanced topics such as how to set up your server for HTTPS sites, or in other words, how to properly set up SSL TLS on the server with proper security level. I will show an example of how to get a real SSL certificate for your site signed by a trusted CA on the internet and then deploy the certificate on your website. You will learn how to set up Apache as a forward proxy with caching functionality and also a reverse proxy with load balancing functionality. The lesson will explain various caching strategies and best practices for setting up caching for different types of website files. The proxy lesson will show a real example of how Apache can be set up as a load balancer while acting as a reverse proxy to upstream web or application servers. There are in-depth lessons on virtual hosting, showing how virtual hosting evolved from IP and port-based virtual hosting to today's popular name-based virtual hosting, where the host header or the SNI extension are used to select from the multiple websites hosted on your server. Next, the course explains different web application architectures and how a web server like Apache fits into this architecture. We will then practically learn different ways that are available to integrate Apache with application programs running locally on the server or on remote application servers. We will deploy a few sample applications using PHP and MySQL database. Next, we will learn how to prepare the server to host production websites on the internet. That is, how to secure and harden the server against DDoS and security vulnerabilities. Finally, you will learn how to performance tune the server to handle hundreds and thousands of clients connecting to your server concurrently using the different NPM modules available in Apache. I will generate load tests with thousands of requests per second and explain how Apache workers handle concurrent requests down to the socket level. You will learn how to diagnose issues when the server is running out of resources while handling this large volume of incoming traffic, and then how to tune the server to handle the load. Being able to analyze logs while troubleshooting issues is absolutely the most critical skills for any IT infrastructure engineer. In this course, we will look at logs frequently to see how the logs show what the server is doing behind the scenes while processing a request. we will also learn how to analyze and filter logs to quickly troubleshoot the issue at hand. This is the lab that we are going to use. It's running on Eve NG Pro, which is a great simulator just like GNS3. We've got a few Linux servers here. We will install and configure Apache on this server here. I will then show you how to integrate your Apache server into a web application environment where your server needs to talk to other servers such as application and database servers to generate dynamic web content. This one over here is a Node.js server, which will act like an application server, and here I've got a MySQL database. The web server usually sits behind a proxy device in most production environments. We have another Apache server here behind an F5 LTM proxy. These devices can work at layer 7 and understand and act on HTTP messages. So it's important to understand how a web server behaves when there is a layer 7 proxy device sitting between the client and the web server. For performance tuning lessons, I will use a Linux instance running in my AWS cloud account, which does not have any restrictions on bandwidth like we have in Eve or GNS3. Here is a list of lessons in this course with a brief description of what's inside every lesson. You can find this in the course resource section. It will help you to navigate around the course in case if you want to jump onto a specific topic quickly. Here are some prerequisites before taking this course. You should have a fair understanding of how HTTP and TCP work. Apart from that, basic networking and Linux skills should be enough to understand everything presented in this course. If you have any queries or feedback or need any support, you can get in touch with me by sending an email to support@ultimatenetworkwarrior.com. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to see you in the course.